Hi everybody, this is Harshil here, Harshil Karia. He is the face of FoxyMoron, and I'm Prasant Naidu from Lighthouse Insights. It's basically a site which talks about Indian social media news and analysis. We are here to talk with Harshil and find out what's FoxyMoron doing and how's life otherwise, and what's up there on social media marketing in the Indian scenario. Hi Harshil.
Hi.
Okay, just to start with this same similar stupid question. We all know who's Harshil Karia, but we want to know about FoxyMoron. FoxyMoron has completed 4 years.
Yeah.
And can you just talk about the journey, how 4 years has been?
Sure. So FoxyMoron actually started about 4 years back. It was a summer vacation with four of us. We were parked into one of my partner's bedroom, and what we were essentially trying to do was a summer internship. We all came from different disciplines. One from sort of a design discipline, one from a web discipline. I came from an online discipline. And what we were essentially trying to do was, a bunch of freelancers trying to put our skills together. And we said, normally when we do an internship, it's all about we weren't sure of the kind of experience that we would get in an internship. So we said, let's give this a shot. And basically, FoxyMoron today is a continuation of that internship, that summer vacation that still hasn't ended. And we've just finished our 4th year. So we started out trying to do everything. We started out trying to be a full service advertising solutions company. Agency was too big a word at that point in time, but then soon we realized that digital is where our forte is, and digital is what we should focus on, bringing these disciplines of design, web, technology, and creative focus. And that's what we try to do, be a creative focused digital agency, and that's what we continue to do today.
Great, Harshil. I know a couple of the works which you guys have done. I mean, what FoxyMoron has done. But can you just share some of the interesting, or maybe one interesting campaign which has been close to your heart in this last 4 years, where you have done really good work from your point of view?
It's tough to choose one, but I think I'll actually put out.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think one that comes to mind is the work that we did for Maybelline to launch the BB cream, the Bright Benefit cream. This was a launch of a new product in India, and it was done only through digital. So the first month was an only digital launch, and it was a big responsibility because we had to crack a big idea. We had to create buzz around it. We had to integrate PR activation, digital, and bring together a big idea that would generate sales. And we came up with a cracker of an idea. It was called WTF. The insight was that we didn't want to launch the product to women, but we wanted to launch it to men. And what is one thing that men hate about women? And where do men and women not, sort of coincide? It's the time that women take to get ready, especially with related to makeup. So it was a campaign called WTF, Women Take Forever. We got men to unite and tell women that they take forever to get ready, and use this whole slogan of WTF. We saw that, and we pitched that out to the Maybelline community, and we said, they're saying WTF, we need to answer this WTF with something equally provocative. And that provocative was nude. Nude is the look that the BB cream provides. It gives your skin a nude feel, a nude tinted feel. So we told women to dare to go nude as an answer to WTF. So you had lots of interesting creatives. Hey WTF, you're screwed because I'm nude. Now I won't take forever because I'm nude. So it was like an internal joke between women, which they started sharing with each other as a slap on the face to the men. Uniting women in the bargain and introducing them to this new product which gives you the nude look, the BB cream. 75,000 units were sold in the first month, and sales were through the roof. This was the second highest number of sales that Maybelline had done in a month for any product. So it was big because it was a digital only launch. It was a provocative idea, and it led to sales. So I think that was one of our most memorable campaigns.
Yeah, the word sales is like very interesting in this whole social world, and like that's much more debatable also, but I know you guys have done really interesting work, and personally I rate FoxyMoron as one of the best agencies in India right now.
Thanks.
And I know the clients you have, the work you're doing. I've reviewed a couple of them. Okay, but moving from FoxyMoron, and let's move into the Indian social media space. You've seen this market for last 4.5 years, and
Yeah.
that's a really good time because social media has developed in last 2 years and is
Yeah.
still evolving. As a person who's observing this market, what are the challenges that you think come into like you have faced or right now the industry is facing? So
So I think there are a couple of challenges. The biggest challenge that I think the industry is facing is uh, a sort of I just put a bit of context to this. So I think one of the challenges that the industry was facing, that people never looked at social media very seriously, and people thought it was an afterthought and it was a free medium. Those were the sort of notions associated with social media. I think also in some way we as an industry are to blame for that because we never integrated our ideas to create them into big ideas. I think now agencies have started doing that. Everybody is integrating social media into the big idea. So I think that is definitely a positive sign. You're getting great ideas. You're getting them integrated into mainline advertising. You're seeing social media agencies often leading the mainline thought. So I think that's great, and that's sort of a challenge that everybody's worked really hard to quell. We never used to have any money in the industry. Now you have suddenly an influx of money. Clients are willing to pay if you've got quality. I think even that said, one of the big challenges for social media is measurability. So I think we have much more sophisticated measurement tools. So you have the likes, you have the talking about us, you have the unique reach, you have the viral reach, and so on and so forth. And measurement on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube has become a lot more. You can measure things, but I think the big challenge is for the industry to make sense of these measurements. To really try and make sense to clients as to how this marketing activity is making a difference to their brand, how this marketing activity is making a difference to sales, how this marketing activity is making a difference to valuation of the brand. I think those kind of things are one of some of the challenges that we'll need to answer if we've got to sustain this industry and grow it further. Because I see clients having immense confidence and faith in TV. So if they're going to be doing a campaign and they're launching a product, they say chalo TV karte hai, and it's almost eyes closed, like they can trust that sales will go up 4x or 3x or whatever. And I think that kind of metric is not yet in place for social media. So social media is still a hit and run or a hit swing and miss game. So sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not work. You may do a fantastic campaign and it may lead to zero sales. So I think those are some of the things that we need to solve, create better metrics, create better sense of how this makes a difference to the company, and I think that's going to be the biggest challenge that we need to sort of answer.
fine. Two things I'll take out from that whole thing which you said. I understand when you're talking about metrics and quality of work. There are a lot of things out here. You spoke a lot of things. I'll touch one of those things. Okay. Let me just put this. I have seen a lot of social media presence just for the heck of having the social media presence. Now, isn't that a job of an agency person to educate his client?
It is. That's bad social media. If you're
Right.
having social media just for the heck of it, it's bad social media.
Because I met a guy who was like, he was really, just by the word of social media, he was like getting irritated because he said to me that over the last 6 months, this agency has been sucking my blood.
Yeah.
So, don't you think that, it's just the agency's job to educate the client? And the second thing is that, people have been like, you go to any conference, any event, you'll find pundits talking about, oh, social media is still evolving. I think that's the wrong way of telling social media has already evolved. There are a lot of agencies which are doing great work, and there are a number of agencies which are doing really bad work. So what's your take on the whole thing which we discussed right now?
So I think I think if you just go back to the fundamentals of social media, is about sort of uniting passionate communities. That's what social media
Right.
essentially is. So if you're a product in the space of biking, then you're uniting bikers around a thought, around an idea. If you're in the space of makeup, you're uniting women around the fact that they love looking beautiful. if you're in the skincare business, you're uniting people around the fact that you're uniting people around women who want to look beautiful because of beautiful skin, and so on and so forth. I think if you just remove the brand out of the context, social media is essentially about it's about getting together people who care about a certain cause, a certain thought, a certain idea, and bringing out that passion. Now, I think as long as you follow those fundamental principles, social media can be done right. And I think it's the job of all agencies to try and figure out if they have an idea to unite communities, if they have an idea to collectively harness the power of communities. And I think that's in like a few lines that essentially sums up what social media is about. Then you can put the bells and whistles, the apps and the status updates and the creatives and all of that. But you've got to have an idea, you've got to have a thought, you've got to unite. And if you can't do that, then you're doing a bad job at social media. If you can't ignite passion for that particular company, you should be in a position to tell that company that, look, I can't ignite passion, and I can't ignite a passionate community around your product, A, because I suck, or because your product sucks. So be frank, and I think that's the way to sort of take it forward. And I think in all industries you'll have some companies that will do good work, some companies that will do bad work. Maybe I'm guilty of bad work at some point in time, and sort of it's an evolution process. But I think to the second comment, that is the industry still evolving. Any industry is always in a state of evolution, and that's always a good thing. But I think we're at a fairly good place in the industry right now, where we've evolved a lot. So I would say if anyone's trying to look at ambiguity in this industry and trying to veil sort of direct questions or not answer direct questions by playing the argument of ambiguity because we're still evolving, I think that's a foolhardy route. We're still evolving, but we've evolved a lot.
So as I understand with the first question we were talking, it's basically what I understand also is that it's your objective what your matters. Like it's like when you say that a bikers community, right?
Yeah.
You are targeting bikers, right? And the content that will go there will be related to that and not about the day-to-day activities.
Right.
And I think that's what two major things, like first is the objective and second is your content.
Correct. Yeah.
And if you have these two things, even if you don't have the money for apps and all those things, I think you can nourish a small beautiful community and drive your objective from that.
I think also, today because of and because of our pressure on the numbers, on Facebook numbers, 1 million fans, 2 million fans, 3 million fans, somewhere what we're losing out on is the value and the beauty of community. Communities can be as small as 1,000 people, 100 people, and if it works to fulfill a particular purpose for the brand, then so be it. And as you rightly said, it's about building community. It's not about building. It's about identifying the objective and powering the content to build a community. So I think that's
good, Harshil. Okay, friend. Moving to one more question, which I was reading your LinkedIn profile, and there, one of your lines said that you want to own vertical media vehicles. Number of so what's that? Is there something future of Harshil's something?
It's a bit on the back burner right now. I think I had updated that LinkedIn profile a while ago.
Okay.
At that point in time, there was there were certain ideas to do things in more commercial spaces, similar to what you were doing with Lighthouse Insights, and you're doing a fantastic job with that. So there was at some point in time a vision perhaps to. So I'll give you an example of what we were trying to do. There was a property that we had called Distortion, which was a battle of the bands which we had done way back in 2008. Big achievement for us because it was the 30th of December. Nobody goes out on that night, and we managed to pack out or overpack out Hard Rock Cafe, which is a capacity of 800 people to 1500 people. So 1500 people came in space of we were expecting 500-600 people. So we wanted to build that property further and take it into a music property. We had another property called Cage Ball. So the tagline for Cage Ball was balls of steel. And it was basically 6-on-6 football in a cage. And this was also way back in 2008, 2009. Pepsi has now done that with Pepsi T20 Soccer.
I know.
So we've been trying to sell that idea to a lot of brands, and then suddenly, comes along Pepsi. So I think those were some of the things that we wanted to do at that point in time. But I'm very happy doing what I'm doing right now, and I love what I'm doing right now. I do bad work sometimes, and I curse myself for it. And I try to do good work with this space, with the social media space. I'm pretty excited to be in it, and it's great to have websites and opinion makers like Lighthouse Insights who are now, I think the fact that you guys are here is also a sense of the industry maturing in some way, because you suddenly find sort of media stakeholders interested in covering the industry in terms of guiding it, in terms of giving it shape, in terms of critiquing it, and I think that's a good sign for the industry. It's very healthy, and yeah, I mean, continue doing what you guys are doing.
But, great. I mean, good to hear from you. But what's this generation that you guys have 25 plus, and you guys have started your own company? I'm jealous. I mean, to frankly speaking, at 25 when we were I'm not that old, but you guys are 5 years younger to us. At your age, we were just figuring out what we want to do in life. And I have friends, and I have people who are 22, 23. They run a company. They're living their dream life. They're not running to US or UK, because 5 years back everybody wanted to go to have a passport, get that stamp, and then and come back and get married with a lot of dowry, right? That was today is every 23, 24-year guy wants to do something, and then what's it all about?
I think one of the things that you have to also consider with a market like India is that we were in fact 19 when we started, so it was 19 and 20, so it was more of a call saying that should we try and do a job, or should we just blindfold and jump into things? And it was that. I think it wasn't really a planned decision. It was more of let's just do this, let's see where this goes. We never thought about money. We just persevered towards, and it sounds very lofty right now, but it was actually that. It was persevere towards doing good work. Our first office, in fact, we didn't have too much money to build an office at that point in time, and we didn't want to take money from our parents, so we financed the office ourselves after working 3 months out of a bedroom. And that time also we didn't have enough money, so we didn't have money to paint walls. So what we did is we bought canvas instead. We gathered together a couple of artists, and we painted that canvas, so every wall on the office was different, and it looked so beautiful. And it was about creating an atmosphere. It was about creating culture. It was about saying, let's get people excited, and let's get them excited to come to work. Of course, there were a lot of falls and a lot of learnings at that point in time also. I think it was just I wouldn't say where the way poles apart from some of the pirates of Silicon Valley, as you say. And those guys are just up there, but I think it's maybe perhaps we are the midwives to a generation in India which will perhaps in the next generation build the Facebooks of tomorrow.
You know what, I I visit colleges, and the only reason why I visit colleges is basically that I trust this generation, that they will be much more different, and the market will be different, because these guys are much more risk taking, and they'll do different things. Harshil, last question. I've been listening people saying that everybody today is now doing social media. अच्छा कुछ नहीं कर रहा है तो social media कर रहा है, right? Personally, I think that all these people who are doing, all these young guys who are doing this, starting a startup, they're doing something different, right? They're not going to jobs and doing some. Maybe they're just learning. They're learning from somebody else's mistakes and all things. 4 years, you have learned a lot of things, I think. Any small message for them, people who want to be grow their agency and work and stuff like that?
I think just from my own personal side, I would say don't be swayed too much by all these technological innovations and saying that this is a new thing and new tool and new app, and I think those are all secondary. Focus on ideation, focus on the core idea, focus on how your idea will touch the heart of the consumer that you're trying to market to, and then everything else will fall in place. So I think in a sense what I'm saying is don't be too different from a branding agency in the way you try and see the consumer problem, in the way you try and solve the problem. Social media gives a lot of innovative opportunities.
Okay, thanks Harshil for your time. It's lovely talking to you, and I wish all the best for FoxyMoron.
Same to you.
Good luck. Thank you very much.